Malaria remains one of the deadliest diseases in sub-Saharan Africa, disproportionately affecting children under 5. Uganda, which records some of the highest malaria cases globally, has taken a historic step by launching the world's largest rollout of the RTS malaria vaccine. The vaccine, developed over decades of research, offers a new layer of protection alongside existing measures such as insecticide-treated nets and indoor spraying. With the support of international partners including WHO, Gavi, and UNICEF, Uganda's Ministry of Health is embarking on a mission to vaccinate hundreds of thousands of children in high-burden districts. So this week, I speak to Dr. Jimmy Opigo, the Program Manager at the National Malaria Control Division, Ministry of Health, about this malaria vaccine rollout. Dr. Jimmy Opigo, welcome to The Brief this week. To start with, explain to us what journey has Uganda had to come through for us to have this vaccine?
The vaccine rollout last week is a very big milestone for Uganda and on the fight against malaria. First, this is the largest global rollout. Uganda is going to protect over 1,100,000 children in 107 districts. 18 countries had started before us, including those like Kenya, Malawi, Ghana, which started way back in 2019, but they had very small rollouts of 100,000. We are doing over 1 million children, over 3 million vaccines. Secondly, it is such a big milestone because for the first time, malaria is going to be vaccine preventable disease. The malaria world has been working for over 30 years trying to make a vaccine. It has not been very easy to make a malaria vaccine. The reason being, malaria is caused by a parasite, not a virus, not a bacteria. Virus is so tiny like this, just a genetic material with small protein. A bacteria is just one cell. A parasite is multiple cells. So it was very difficult to choose which cell, which protein. Several had to be tested. Finally, a vaccine has been found. So it's a real celebration.
What regions or populations are being targeted first?
We intend eventually to protect all children under 5, but we had to start with the areas which have most malaria. That is eastern Uganda, northern Uganda, West Nile, Karamoja, Bunyoro, and some parts of the west. Eventually we would go everywhere. Kampala, for example, has been skipped because here, 1, there is less malaria. 2, parents can access care very easily. Facilities are near, including private ones. But again, parents can privately get their children vaccinated. And already Novik and I think Roswell are giving this malaria vaccine at about, I think, 30,000 per shot. These parents in Kampala can afford at the moment, so we have to prioritize the other areas.
So, Doctor, I'm hearing you talking about children. Can't adults too come for this vaccine?
This vaccine was designed for children. The reason is when you live in a malaria area, each time a mosquito bites you and injects in you a parasite, you progressively develop some partial malaria immunity, acquired one. Now, children have not had this chance, and the first or second infection before they develop immunity may kill them. But the adults have had a chance to survive several malaria attacks, and they already have passive immunity. So for that case, it was designed for children. Meanwhile, adults can protect themselves from using mosquito nets, and if they get malaria, it is rare that adults, except pregnant mothers, will get severe form of malaria. So they can get treatment and they are treated. So focus was on the children under 5.
How will the vaccine complement the existing malaria strategies, such as distributing insecticide-treated nets and conducting indoor residue spraying?
Now, disease prevention is a combination effort. So we need to fight malaria right from where mosquitoes breed, using larvicides, okay? Where they bite us outside by wearing long clothes or applying repellents. In the house, not allowing them to enter, okay? And then when we sleep, by sleeping under a net. However, despite all these efforts, mosquitoes will still bite you. For example, before you go in a mosquito net, careless people, or they can find their way in, or you have stayed in the compound long, okay? So this now protects where, for the few where a mosquito has injected a parasite in them, the parasites need to get in the liver and develop further there. It blocks the entry into the liver, and thereby not preventing malaria so much, but preventing development of severe forms. How? Severe malaria is caused by multiplication. Now, the liver's root is needed for the multiplication. When parasites multiply in you so much, it now breaks your blood cells, gives you anemia, releases a lot of its toxins, gives you the fever. So it blocks that. So it is important that we first prevent parasites entering us. The few which enter, we block them multiplying so much. The few which multiply, we treat it. So you see, you finish a continuum or a cycle. So it is plugging in one of the steps of the life cycle, and the way, what we call the pathogenesis of the parasite, how it causes the disease. So you still need the steps before and after.
What's the efficacy of this vaccine?
You know, we are fighting malaria not for the sake. We are fighting malaria for child survival. Okay? Now, it has been shown that it reduces all-cause mortality, all-cause deaths, whether from malaria, whether from diarrhea, you know, whether from pneumonia, all causes, okay, by up to 13%. It reduces malaria-specific severe malaria, and death by close to 40%. But when it works together with mosquito nets, spraying, treatment, it has over 70% impact on malaria. But why severe malaria? I need to explain this a little bit so that people get it. Now, of all people a mosquito bites, there is a certain proportion, the parasites, your body will fight it, you don't even get malaria. There is a certain proportion who will get malaria parasites in them, but they will remain asymptomatic, what the common people call carriers. They will never get fever. Even 2 years, 3 years later they may get. There is a group who will get fever, vomiting, joint pains, but they will not need a drip. They will not need transfusion. Okay? There is only about 5 to 10% of non-immune populations who are mostly children and pregnant mothers. These ones get severe malaria, and it is a medical emergency. If not treated, there is over 90% chance of death. Even with the treatment, okay? Even with the treatment, we lose over 10% of them. So the malaria vaccine is coming to stand in this gap of this group who get severe malaria, and if the severe malaria is not treated, they die. Even if it is treated, even if you are in the best hospital, 1 out of 10 people having severe malaria will die. So it is coming in this gap. So it's a very, very important intervention.
What challenges do you anticipate with this large-scale rollout of the vaccine?
Now, this rollout is going to face some challenges. One, every child is supposed to receive 4 times, at 6 months, at 7 months, at 8th month, and 18th month. Now, mothers know already when they come for vaccination. At the moment, there is no visit at the 7th month, so people may not come. Or there's no particular visit at the 8th month. Okay? There's a visit at 9th month. There's a visit at 18th month. That is the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine. Okay? But many people don't show up for it so much. So that is our fear. It needs a specific communication because there are multiple attendances.
Within our population, we have a lot of fevers that could be caused by different ailments, including malaria, but people choose to go for self-medication. What are some of the challenges that self-medication has on people's health within our societies?
Okay, thank you very much. Self-medication at the moment is one of the biggest health problems in Uganda. It may take the form of someone just using medicine they have kept in the house, kept not in correct conditions, could have expired and they are not aware. Some of them use Dr. Google and tells them what the problem they have is. Now some use Dr. Artificial Intelligence. Several challenges are associated with this. First, fever is caused by so many things. It could be malaria, it could be bacterial infection, could be other things, and could be both. You end up treating one while the other is picking momentum. The second challenge is, there is malaria parasites, there are complications of malaria. How will you know that you are anemic? How will you know that it has affected other parts of your organs? You need to be examined by a doctor. How would you know that you are very dehydrated? So you miss the opportunity for complete assessment. Okay, so that you get wholesome treatment, not medicines. Treatment is education, is medicines, is supportive care. This needs assessment. The third problem is we are facing anti-malarial resistance, which partly developed because of self-medication, where people take poor quality medicine, stored badly, incomplete, So now you need a doctor's assessment because they will know the extent. And now there are so many anti-malarials. There are so many anti-malarials. The doctor can decide which one is appropriate for you. We are in an era where we call multiple first-line therapy. There's the Coartem type, there's the Deoxycycline type, there is the Pyramax type. A doctor makes a judgment on what is the appropriate one for you, but also what is the right dosage for you. We really advise people to seek care quickly so that they get assessed and they get the right treatment.
Now that The rollout of this vaccine has started. What is your message to Ugandans?
Now, our message to Ugandans is, this is the greatest opportunity we have. It's one of the best tools we have against malaria. It's one of the best tools against childhood illnesses. It's one of the best tools to protect children. Let parents, caregivers, bring their children to be vaccinated against malaria and all immunizable diseases, please, not only malaria, all immunizable diseases. To the leaders, let's all inform the people that a tool is now available to fight malaria, and people should show up. The third one is receive all the 4 doses, please. All the 4 doses, it works better. But even if we receive it, let's still sleep under a mosquito net. Let's close our windows so that mosquitoes don't get in. Okay. Let's spray our houses. If we get any fever, let's test and treat promptly within 24 hours, because the more time you give, the more malaria parasites multiply and become severe form. When it becomes severe form, which you can see by a child convulsing, being so drowsy, not eating, very weak, get to a hospital quickly to get severe malaria treatment within 2 hours. Malaria kills, is so life-threatening. Apart from killing, it leaves long-term impact on the children. Cerebral palsy, you have seen. Not only that, behavioral disorders, attention disorders. I understand long-term impact of malaria on the brain even makes someone less smart. So you come and complain why the kids are not doing well in school. It can be a long-term impact of malaria. Behavioral problems, attention problems. So it may survive the severe malaria, but leaves behind long-term impact.
With the mass rollout of the RTSS vaccination program, Uganda has demonstrated a bold step towards the fight against one of the most persistent public health threats. Dr. Jimmy Opigo, thank you for speaking to The Brief.
Thank you for having us.